everyone, and welcome back to Sportycast Football. This is episode 147 of the 343 podcast, and today I'm your host, Riaz Parker. I'm joined by two of the three Musketeers. I guess if they are the Musketeers and I'm just a bystander. Jason, how's it going?
All good, man. All good. Happy to be back. Happy to, maybe not the most exciting week as an Arsenal fan, but happy to be here. Always happy to chat some footy.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of things to chat, even though, sometimes Arsenal provide you with good things to talk about. Sometimes you'd rather have them have a boring week than a bad week, But nonetheless, AF, are you a bit on the happier side? How's it going?
I'm on the more relaxed side because I'm almost done with work for the year. So I'm just looking forward to a nice break at the end of the year. How are you doing though? How are you doing on that side of the world?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm less emo today, so we got the nice Riaz here today, the less controversial one. So I'm hoping to, just stay on the fence today, keep it easy.
It's the A, guys. It's definitely the A. We got punk rock last week. We got the more sophisticated, fancy, hair combed, neat and tidy. We got the more chill.
But this is also as a result of Spurs winning, man, isn't it? Didn't Spurs not win in that previous week, and that's the emo Allen was here? Let me just check quickly. Spurs drew against Newcastle. Spurs drew against Newcastle, so that's why.
I mean,
just seems also like we have a Jason Stan here in the chat. Amy DeCock.
That's my sister. I did also give her grief because she had said that she watched it, but she didn't comment. So I said, if you comment, then I'll believe you. So yeah, glad you're here.
Shout out.
Thanks.
Now you can
thanks
go.
to all of you guys in the chat.
Yeah.
No, don't go anywhere. Jason's telling you can go. Don't go anywhere. Stick around. You never know what might tickle your fancy. We've got Ramiz, of course, Adi in the chat, Yasin, and everybody. Nice to have you guys here. If you are here at the moment, just before you carry on listening, just put a like on the video if you don't mind. Just a small like, it'll help us out a lot. And share this with whoever you think will enjoy this kind of content. Today, we're going to be looking at, obviously, the biggest thing of the week is Mohamed Salah, what happened there. And I don't know if we're going to look at this, if there is any solutions, kind of our opinions on it. And from there, we're going to go into the weekend wrap as I make my way quickly to the top left-hand corner. Just a weekend wrap about what's happening this weekend. We're going to look at either Chelsea versus Everton or Crystal Palace versus City, two big games of the weekend. And then we're going to look a little bit at, I'm actually hoping to know that too. We are the Liverpool fans. I'm hoping that they will eventually make their way here because I need their opinions. We need their opinions. We're going to also look at the World Cup a little bit. Just to see which groups are interesting. West Africa is playing, of course. I'm not in South Africa at the moment, which I'm missing quite a bit, but that is the country of which most of us originate. So we're going to be looking at that group and some other groups of death that we going to be taking a look at as well. But thank you guys for joining me this evening. It's going to be an awesome episode. I'm going to cut this episode at 1 hour. And if you are a follower of the channel, you know that I'm lying completely. But I'm going to try my best to get there. Anyways, we're going to start off with Mo Salah. Of course, Mohamed Salah is in a bit of hot water. Is he or isn't he? I mean, he came out the other day after the game. I think it was it the Leeds game after Liverpool drew 3-3. He came to the media pen. He has said quite a few things. Something about, having no relationship with the manager. He's not happy with being subbed, or in fact, being on the bench. Sorry, not being subbed, because I think that was the first time he said that he was not subbed on even for 90 minutes of his career. But it seems to be a bit of a fractious relationship currently between the two. AF, how do you think that it was valid that he came out to talk like that, or how do you feel about the whole situation in general? If like Manchester United player had to come out and do that, would you be happy with it?
Dude, this happened like a year and a half ago with another bold Dutch manager and Cristiano Ronaldo, where things happened and then Cristiano Ronaldo went onto a talk show and he did the exact same thing, aired all the dirty laundry. Look, I mean, I can understand Mo Salah probably thinks and he knows that he's done so much for Liverpool. He's
Yeah.
contributed so many goals and assists every season for the past like 8 seasons now.
Yeah.
And he's been the backbone of their success. Without Mo Salah, there is no Liverpool success over the past like 7-8 years. So he has every right to feel the way that he did, but he should not have said it to a journalist. He should not have been vocal about it in public. Keep it behind closed doors. Try to sort it out and fix it behind closed doors. I don't agree with the fact that he's gone to the media about it in the same way that I didn't agree with how Cristiano Ronaldo went to the media about it as well. Like there's a certain line that you don't cross, and
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, he's well within his rights to feel everything and to say everything that he did. He just shouldn't have done it publicly.
I mean, Jason, he said he was thrown under the bus. He's been thrown under the bus by the club, and AF is saying he's justified in I guess how he feels. But I mean, he's been trucking the season, right? I fully agree with AF in terms of that he should have handled it privately. But is it just him throwing his toys out the pram? Like, what's the situation there?
Yeah, look, it is an interesting one. I've always been taught you must never talk out of the house.
Yeah.
Even if you are extremely upset, you must never let it come to the surface. But yeah, it's obviously somebody who feels very hard done by having brought Liverpool to the success in recent years. So yeah, I'd prefer if he didn't make the comments because he now makes himself somewhat of an easy target. We know that the English media will latch onto anything, and especially as a foreign player playing in that league, anything you say gets put under a microscope so quickly and so easily. But yeah, I think he can be aggrieved, but definitely he could have handled it a bit better. He comes off as somebody who's very confident in himself, but yeah, if the form is not there, then you should be dropped. His biggest concern will probably be the other players that haven't been playing well and they still get game time. So how do you
Yeah.
justify that? And I do think that Liverpool's system has changed, and maybe they haven't played to his strength, but yeah, you have to adapt. You have to change the way you're playing, and yeah, I think he's gone about it in the wrong way. And also, sorry for the lighting. I genuinely can't fix it now. Otherwise, I'm going to show too much of my room. So let's keep this romantic view going on.
Ambiance.
Ambiance. Jason,
Yeah,
yeah,
you were saying that like everybody's been like he's been shocking, but so has everybody else been as well. I
yeah,
mean, bar somebody like Sabozlai, who's probably
yeah,
been their best player this season, and he's played in like a variety of positions as
yeah.
well. But
Yeah, I was going
everybody's
to talk
been
about that
shocking.
actually. But you
So
see, so,
like,
so the thing is, right? I was actually going to bring that up now. I think the thing is, the difference is that in those positions where he plays, I think that they have options. Whereas if you look at Virgil van Dijk, Konate, if you look at Kirkes as well, he's been now subbed out for Robertson. So in those certain positions, they can kind of have replacements for Salah, whereas the centre backs they have no replacements. There's no one that can come in for Van Dijk, for Konate, unless you're going to trust Endo to come in there and play at centre back. So I get what he's saying, and yes, he's right. Like a lot of them have been subpar this season, but I guess in his position there are players that can come on and play and do a job, whereas the other positions like centre back, like left back, you can't really like there's not really replacements for them. I mean, I wanted to actually bring Robertson up because I think that he's a perfect example. He's also that agreed. That's a very good point. I mean, the Kirkis is not the problem. I agree that Kirkis also is not the problem, but he hasn't been
Kirkis is
playing
the
well for
problem.
most of the
Kirkis
season.
can't play. Yeah,
But
Kirkis is
he's
a
been, he
problem.
has been bad.
Let's
But
not let him
he was
miss
the
the
best
fact that
left
he
back
needs
in
to
the
catch
Premier League
smoke
last
as well.
season.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
let's not say that the guy doesn't have the talent. Like he has the talent, he can play. He was the best in the
Yeah.
league last season. There's just the system doesn't agree with all of the players, in my opinion.
yeah, that's a good. But it did last season. So what has changed so much? Is it
It's
just that?
so I would think, right? And as you were talking, I was just thinking about it. Like Yasin saying that he's a luxury player. I think your performances get masked when you do perform, and now obviously he's not performing. So suddenly, what is Salah contributing to the overall team? Now you have a team of 11 players, and of the 11, you have 6 that are subpar. Now you've got 5 players, and they're in key areas, and they are getting exposed. So yeah, I think the system has changed. Arne Slot is unwilling to change it again to accommodate Mo Salah, because clearly it seems to be that he's got the sum is greater than a single part, so sort of mentality, right? And yeah, I think all the sort of defensive frailties that were overshadowed by maybe outscoring teams and maybe Virgil being in better form to kind of cover all of those cracks are now being brought up, which I'd always like to see it rather than live in this blissful ignorance that everything is okay. Rather show where it's bad, and then you'd be able to sort of do a bit better. What they haven't done is the cracks have now been shown, but they've also spent close to 500 million, so half a bill on players. So you can't, like, how much more paper can you put on there?
Don't forget about the bumper contracts for Van Dijk and for Salah as well. Both of them were offered about.
You are one person that reminds me every day. Anytime Van Dijk has a bad game, in the chats,
I'm reveling in it. This is
you
my
are
time.
there.
But honestly, guys, I think that was still a good idea, because now they can at least sell them for some money. That's the thing. They had to give them contracts.
It's basically only Saudi that will offer them those contracts.
Doesn't matter.
And the way that they
Virgil van Dijk is going to want to go to Saudi
like,
right now.
It's almost going to be like Real Madrid pulling out of that Konacho's deal. They're not going to want you, bro. They like Konate, that was being primed for that Real Madrid. He's been shocking. And yeah, so now his Real Madrid moves off. They're going to go after Marquez. So yeah, I don't even know. Saudi, maybe.
Yeah. It's crazy, actually.
Sadiq mentioned now in the chat, Jamie Carragher is the silliest pundit ever.
Yeah.
Can we speak about his comment? He's basically, I don't know why it feels like he's been waiting for Salah to slip up for 100%. A while so that he can 100%. Go. The fact that he made that comment yesterday, that he was hoping that, like, now more than ever, he hopes Liverpool goes away with a win in that Champions League game because Salah's not in the squad. How terrible of a person do you have to be, knowing that this guy brought you so much success over the past few years, and the first chance you get to kick him while he's down, you take it?
Yeah.
It's actually ridiculous, to be honest.
Yeah. I think there's definitely, I mean, as I was going to talk about Jamie Carragher, I see that it's not the first fallout he's had. One he's had with Klopp too. Yeah, I think there's a inner confidence that Salah has, that he feels he should be playing all the time. So yeah, it's fair. Maybe he needs to just be given a channel where he can express these views. But I think Jamie Carragher doesn't want to acknowledge that possibly, and maybe this is me looking from the outside in, but in terms of a legend and what he's done for Liverpool, I think he's either on par with Stevie G, or maybe he's surpassed in terms of what he's brought Liverpool in their respective times in terms of success. I'm not talking about good performance. Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about Carragher.
No. So Salah versus Gerrard, and now Carragher is like, you know what? I'm rather going to stick with Gerrard, my English.
Okay.
Got comrade. So now it's almost like you can try and discredit somebody, but you take Salah's goals away in many seasons, and you can see that Liverpool probably don't perform as well. Not just goals, also assists, because I think it's something that was maybe underrated in his game as well.
Especially
so yeah, Jamie Carragher he speaks from a very particular point, and it's an interesting position that he's able to occupy, because when he's on CBS, he's everybody's best friend, him, Thierry, Micah. But then as soon as he becomes the mouthpiece for Sky, then you suddenly see, okay, this seems like it's more of his truer thoughts as opposed to the fun stuff, or maybe it's the script that he's given to read, and it's very concerning, because they will flip on a dime if you don't agree with it.
I think he's like some sort of a clip, like trying to get clips all the time, because I'm pretty sure in the Trent situation, when Trent was leaving and he was going on a free and he was learning Spanish and stuff, I'm pretty sure that Carragher was kind of, backing him. Like there was, it was like we shouldn't boo Trent, even like this and that.
Yeah, I think he made a comment once that he's like, yeah, he's accomplished everything that he needed to at Liverpool, so let him chase his dream. So
Yeah,
why the change of scenery for a different player?
agreed. I mean, I don't understand it, and I didn't actually think about that from Jason's point of view. The whole Gerrard v Salah thing, that's very interesting, and it could very well be. And I think, but why would you let him walk here if you can get 60, 70 million for him? That's the thing. That's at the end of the day the thing. Like if you can tie him down, it's again you're going to sell him for 60, 70 million rather than let him go on a free. I think it's better, to be honest. And that is the thing. So they probably made him promises and now they're not keeping it. But at the end of the day, how can you keep your promises if the player also has to keep his promises? He has to be able to produce on the field, which Salah is not doing. So it's kind of a both way thing. And from what I'm getting from both of you guys is that his feelings are valid. 100%. I'm agreeing with you on that.
Everybody's feelings are valid except Jamie Carragher. Okay.
It's just that he should have kind of dealt with it in a better way. Do we think that he's going to speak to Slot, and Slot has kind of, made this by telling him, look, you're not good enough, you need to be better, otherwise I'm not going to play you? Do we think that he has had that conversation, or do we think that he's kind of just come out of this out of nowhere?
I mean, his comments in that little interview saying that he previously had a relationship with Slot and now he suddenly doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know, that seemed a bit that seemed a bit tense. And I've heard stories about people not speaking to managers, and we've seen clips even, I think it was Pogba with, I can't remember who, where they couldn't even look each other in the eyes when they shook hands. I don't know if it was Pogba and Mourinho or one of the Man United coaches or something like that. Like, it's very easy. There's a squad of 25 players. You can easily avoid them. So yeah, I think the relationship might have soured, but I think also in Slot's arrival, there was a change in the hierarchy, and I think they were changing him from not the manager but to the coach and something. And then there's the other board. Now, I don't know how truthful this is, but certain decisions might have happened out of his control, and I think that's also, I think that's also probably playing into it. So yeah, I think he's probably tried to talk, but it's not what he wants to hear. Even it could even be that. So yeah.
If just lastly, do you think that there's a way back for Mohamed Salah? What do you think the solution here is moving forward?
I think all it just takes is a clear the air talks behind closed doors, try to iron everything out, get all the dirty laundry out between them, say whatever bad things they need to each other, and then take it from there. Like the January window is coming up, so if the opportunity arises for Salah to leave, then that could happen. But I doubt that he's going to leave before the end of the season. I think that they'll try to make it work before the like as soon as they can, and then try to push on as best as they can until the end of the season. And then they got 1 year out of the 2-year contract from Salah, and they can then sell him to Saudi, and he can eventually just get his move that he wanted about a year and a half ago to Al Hilal. Join Darwin Nunes.
Oh, golly.
Never mind
Jason,
that. You must go back to Egypt, man. You must go to Al Ahly.
Or Pyramids.
Fakhrlika is never going to let him play over him. I'll tell you now.
Jason, but just for you, because I think the January window ends before the AFCON. So if he's going in the January transfer window, Brighton will be his last game to play for Liverpool, which would be sad. So do you see him leaving in January, or do you think that, like I put myself in it, that they'll wait till the end of the season and they'll just have to hash this out behind closed doors?
I think they'll be working on deals on the side. Whether they tell his agent about it, I don't know. But if there's a chance to get cash for him now and possibly inject into a team that clearly needs a bit of injection, I think you 100% do it. And I think in this case, Liverpool then think of Liverpool will definitely think of getting that money and then just reinvesting. They're not going to think about Salah and what he's done. They're going to think, okay, no, he's been a legend. He's been a good servant, but also if we can get him out now and we can get a new centre back to give Verge cover, then let's do it. Salah will be going loan. Yeah. I don't see where a team could possibly get him on loan. I think Liverpool's going to want to ship him because there's the energy. If he is going to go on loan, where do you guys think he'd possibly go? Like that's a good point. It's a good comment potentially, but I don't think Liverpool want him to come back. It'll be a loan and then like actually stay
The
there.
only
Like,
team that I can see him going to is the team that can't afford him.
Which is
what's that? Man United,
Barcelona.
Barcelona. Nah, bruh.
Interesting. But they have like Yamal there.
Amin's got that spot locked down.
Yeah.
Bro, if they get a chance at Mo Salah, they will take a chance on Mo Salah.
I'm with Ramiz on this one. I'm going to go
Right,
Wolves.
for Madrid.
Right, doesn't Valverde play there sometimes? Play a 4-4-2.
Isn't he like centre back and right? He plays everywhere.
Yeah, he plays everywhere.
From midfield.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe,
Who plays on the right?
maybe
We can buy
Rodrigo.
in Olise.
Olise, yeah.
Yeah, okay, nah, that is true. Also, I don't think they'd sign him after they just signed Luis Diaz. So
Yeah.
they wouldn't get him there.
Gonna be interesting.
Nostalgic move back to Roma, maybe Italy. Any thoughts to ban?
Good idea. Italy likes to
Napoli.
take these guys. Yeah, go to Napoli.
Napoli.
Go play there with Kevin
Premier
and.
League 2.0.
It's gonna be interesting though. I really hope that they can kind of hash things out like AF said behind closed doors. Give him a fine because I think that's fair. Kind of come to a commonality of expectations moving forward. Be like, look, if you're not gonna improve, you're not gonna play, or you will come on as a sub, things like that. You will get games maybe like as we're playing, maybe Champions League games, whenever, but you won't play every game unless you start scoring, things like that. And then sell him in June, July. Come out and basically saying, look, the club has to come out, make a statement being like, look, we weren't happy with the statement. We've discussed this behind closed doors. We find him and he'll be in the squad when he gets back from AFCON.
Yeah.
And then take it from there. That's the best way to go through it. Otherwise,
like FSG is also backing the manager.
Yeah,
there was a statement on, was it Monday or yesterday, where FSG is just like, no, we're backing the manager. We trust in what he's doing with the team, and so there's no player backing here. I think it's just like they need to hash it out behind closed doors, get onto the same page, and try to push forward.
Because it sets a precedent. If player, that's the biggest problem. It gives the players too much power.
Yeah, but what I'd say is it's such a big contrast from the Klopp era where there was no big attitudes in it. The only big, maybe there might be a common thread that we can pull on here. Mane and Salah, that will be.
Yeah.
But besides that, there were no egos and no issues, and they were all set on that same goal. And then, now under the Slot era, we got player power coming through. But crazy had lamb, bro. You
that's the whole point of this episode. The thumbnail is slot in, slot out. So this is the majority of the episode.
Just leave the stream on and walk inside if you're tired. Don't now lose the view.
Okay. So wait, hold on. Let's want to talk about Arsenal for a bit. I mean, Ziad's telling us to move on. We might as well talk about Arsenal.
Yasin wants to speak about Arsenal.
Yeah,
Yasin wants to, man. Yasin wants to see me cry on.
It's because he's saying
Yasin wants to.
Best manager.
Unai Emery is always the best manager when he has a good game against a top club. But when he loses against Bournemouth, everybody's chup still. When he loses against United at the end of the season, last season, they like, nah, Unai Emery is no good. How can he lose against United? I'm so tired of this, man, bro. Unai Emery has passed his sell-by date for me, man, bro.
Obviously, you have to say that, unfortunately, but it's fine. Arsenal did lose 2-1 this weekend to Aston Villa, but the team that I really want to talk about is, I'm going to give you a pass today, Jason. I'm going to give you a pass. I'm not going to let you cry.
I'll talk, actually,
no, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to. We're going to leave Arsenal because I think it's just a small blip. They'll be back this week. In fact, tonight again in the Champions League, they'll be back. I want to talk about Manchester City because I'm not sure what's the reason behind it, but I feel like it's kind of had some sort of like there haven't been so much rumblings about City this year. It's been Chelsea, it's been Liverpool, it's been Arsenal, but I don't know if it's because City don't have enough fans to back them or what the situation is there. But I mean, they're 2 points behind. So do we think that they are going to come and just take the league like they have before, or are they going to falter again like they did last year?
Who's that for? Me or Jason?
I'll give it to you. AF, I'll give it to you.
Okay. No, I think that there were a couple of hiccups at the starting of the season for them. But they've sort of hit their stride. And I said that I think I said it last week also, that the change of fortunes sort of coincided with Phil Foden finding his form again. And he's been like at the center of everything in the City resurgence now. And I think a lot of the fans, so we've had the Manchester Derby on here a couple of times already, and Ash, the Manchester City fan, she's also like, every time when they update their stories, she's like, she doesn't want to really get ahead of herself. So I think that they are also very cautious about, they know how competitive this league is this season. I mean, there's United is sitting in 6th at the moment, but if they lost on Monday night, they would have been 12th or 13th. So it's crazy how like one win or one lose can like change the entire outlook of that Premier League table. And I think that the City fans are rather just trying to be a bit more cautious about not saying that, oh, we're going to win the league or the league is ours. It's just like, let's take every game week by week and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult also because, like they're saying in the chat, it's well, not even halfway through the season, right? So we don't know what's exactly going to happen, but it's just the kind of form that they're on at the moment. Like you say, it's kind of inclined with or kind of been with Phil Foden's form that now they've been doing pretty well. But they are playing Crystal Palace this weekend, who are in 4th position, and I think that's going to be for me the game of the week as Crystal Palace against City. They are 5 points behind City, Crystal Palace are, and but they're also on a good run of form. Like you say, if like everything, one loss, one win can move you like 10 points up the table or 10 points down the table. So, Jay, just your thoughts on Crystal Palace and Oliver Glasner. They're going to lose Mark Gay soon. Do you think he'll leave? Do you think it's going to affect them majorly because they lost Eze, and they're still doing pretty well?
Yeah, no, I always have time for a team like Crystal Palace. They are consistently performing in a time where the manager's not backed as much as he probably likes. They've done exceptionally well. Losing Olise, when was it last season or this season? Last season, and then having to play. Yeah, it was last season, and then having to play with Eze, Mateta, Sarr. Then they lose Eze as well this season, and there's been a bit of a blip, but it's also something that you expect for them. Every season, they always hover around, and then towards the back end, they're sort of picking up stride and all those things. Yeah, I think they've always proven to give City a game. But as we've mentioned, City are sort of picking up their stride. This is generally when they start kicking into form. And again, it's way too early to call it. As he had said, after 5 games, people were saying Liverpool were going to win the league again. And then suddenly after the next 5, they said Arsenal's going to win it. Now they're saying Arsenal's going to bottle. So it's extremely fickle. And the quality in the Prem has increased to a point where you have a team like Fulham that scored 4 against Man City. And in the following week, City can keep out probably one of the more informed teams in Sunderland to absolutely nothing and then completely wallop them. So the form goes up and down. I think Crystal Palace were almost out of the game against Fulham now in the week, and then they won it. So, yeah, I think Crystal Palace will do well. If they don't back their manager, I don't think they keep him. I think he leaves just because he's not going to be able to produce. There's only a certain level that you can produce without any financial input, and that's great. But if you're wanting to sustain what they did last season, which was amazing, and what they can potentially do this season, you have to start strengthening up, because I think Ismail Assar got injured, and then suddenly you're playing like a youngster. You're playing Edin Ketia on the right wing, which isn't where he's supposed to play. So
But he scored though.
He did score.
He
yeah,
scored in that
no,
position.
100%, and that's fine for one
But I
off.
guess that's
But he's
more
not a proven winger.
systematic goal.
Yeah, it's picking up on a pass that wasn't even meant for him. He was out
Yeah,
wide, he
yeah,
was
yeah.
running to the middle. It's actually for somebody else, and he picks it up. So those are good in certain games. It's not something that you can replicate. It's not something that you can say for 80% of the games Edin Ketia is going to play. He's going to score from that left, because he's not. He's in the box sort of a striker. So yeah, I think it's definitely one to watch, because Palace are also quietly picking up the results and they're staying there. So they're playing what conference? I see they could finish possibly in a Europa spot.
That would be very strong. Like okay, Ziad asked if they're fourth. Yeah, they are fourth at the moment, and they've been doing well. I mean, they play very good systematically. They have really good. Look here, Aswar, please. Ziad is going to shout at us if we go back here again. We don't need this right now. Okay.
We spoke about it for half an hour, so you can go
Let's
back
rewind,
and go rewatch it.
and then give your opinion. Then
Where
you can
were
just
you?
give your opinion. You can't have, and it has to be one or the other. You can't be Slot and Salah in. Just by the way. And yeah. Anyways, moving on before we get shouted at. Yeah, so I fully agree with you. I mean, backing the manager is super important, and for a team like Crystal Palace, they won a trophy last season, and they did so well. Like they're playing really well, and especially systematically, like we're saying, like they can slot in players like we were saying, like in Ketia. It's not his position to play wide, and he comes on. He does a job. So I think also the stability in the back five is super important. So if you're going to lose Gurry, to kind of get that kind of balance right in that back five after losing your captain and one of your best players is going to be super important. But moving on to the game this weekend, AF, in terms of the City team, do we see the City team playing the same way? Because they've also gone with a solid back four for the past, I don't know how many games now they're playing that usual back four of Nunes, Diaz, Guardiola and Nico Riley. We see that being the same.
And I think they'll go with like a similar midfield or so, because Bernardo Silva, Foden, Nico Gonzalez, they've been sort of the mainstays for the past couple of games now over there. Ranchuk is over the last two games also, he's shown that he's starting to pick up the pace of the Premier League. He's starting to play like the player that we've seen at Olympic Lyon. I mean, he had like a Rabona assist
for
over
no
the
reason.
weekend. It was for no reason at all, but it was so insane. So that's just showing the confidence that he's sort of playing with now, and I think he'll keep on playing as well. So I think Pep Guardiola is not tinkering that much like he used to with his starting 11. There'll probably be one or two changes, but it won't be like crazy changes like he normally does, where he changes two of his centre backs every week. And I think he knows what team is going to do a job for him now.
But also, interestingly enough, I mean, not interesting enough, but something to consider is the fact that in December there's so many games. And if Arsenal is anything to go by, and even City with the defenders back in the day, I think there was a period where John Stones just came back and then Nathan Ake gets injured. Then Nathan Ake comes back and then Ruben Diaz picks up a knock. So it's so important to rotate. And this evening's game against Real Madrid is also one that they'd want to win, because I don't think they've been doing the best in terms of that Champions League table as well. So you want to ensure that you get that automatic qualification, so that you don't have to worry about the extra games, right? And that extra play of games. So that also helps. But yeah, I think City, like Mr. B said, they are. Is this Mr. Beast that can give us money? Because if so, let's chat offline. They're not relying so much on Haaland anymore, and it also shows because I captain Haaland every week and he does nothing. But yeah, the spark that comes from that midfield and even Ryan Shirky now, whether they're able to maintain it, this little purple patch maybe continues because they're in a Christmas and a festive mood. When it starts getting a bit colder and things start coming a bit quicker and stuff like that, let's see if they can do it then. I think that's when Haaland does well because he's used to all of this. But yeah, I think trying to think about Crystal Palace and City for a result, but let's not jump the gun.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to come back to you now for result. I just want to get back to that Matthew Bonner that you were talking about, AF, because the cross was on his left foot.
Yeah.
He's a left-footed player. The ball was on his left foot. He rebonded with his right foot.
His right foot.
So
It was literally just because he wanted to show that he could do it. That's all.
And it went on his head. It went on Foden's head. He didn't even have to jump or anything. Yeah. It was crazy. It made no sense. Don't forget, change my hair also, Ramesh, please. Don't forget that. My hairstyle has changed. I'm normal yesterday. Not spicy one. But yeah, the skill from Ayan is crazy. I don't want to Pep coaches out of him. That is a deep question. And I am the biggest Pep coaching out of person you can find because I hate what he did to my boy Jack. But I think that he's learned from his mistakes, Pep. But we'll see. We will see.
He hasn't coached anything out of Jeremy Doku, though.
Exactly.
And so he's been there for, what, this is his third season?
I think.
But that's because anytime Pep wants to talk to him, Jeremy Doku does that move and he just shimmies away from him. So he actually can't get close to him. Anytime he wants to talk to him, he's just like, shimmy, gone.
That's a good point.
Hold the ball too much.
No, Yasin Doku does things. It's shift one way.
But he does one thing very well. Yeah, that's correct. And he does it very well.
Yeah, he does it extremely well. And like Jason said, maybe that's why Pep can't get a hold of him because just shimming left and right all over the place. So let's go to the predictions for this weekend's game. Crystal Palace against Manchester City. It's going to be, when is it? On Sunday. I'm not going to say the time because the times are different and I'm confused. So Sunday, Crystal Palace are playing at home. And AF, tell me what you think is going to happen in this game.
2-1 to City, but it's going to be a late winner. I think it's going to be a very close game.
Okay. I don't disagree with you. I think it's going to be a close game. So yeah, I don't want any draws from you in the chat, please. I don't accept that. Come with something else. Jason, your prediction, please.
Then take the bias
away.
Well,
I did want to. No, I was gonna go. I was actually gonna go 2-2. I almost feel like they'd be able to do it, but I actually think it might be a Palace 2-1. I'm gonna go Palace 2-1.
Okay.
Just because of what happened to Crystal Palace and Liverpool, I think they sort of propped themselves up nicely for these big games, and at home they're at Palace. I think they'll make it a vibe.
I think also like a lot depends on the result tonight. If Man City
can that's also what I was
Real Madrid convincingly, then their tails are up and they will be a team to reckon with over the weekend. And the Real Madrid team at the moment is absolutely trash. I mean, they are.
Plus, Mbappe might not even make the game, right? And he's been scoring goals left, right, and center for them. So if he's not there, Alexander-Arnold up front.
Oh gosh, don't please. There is a good point though, Ziad, but I'm going to be using that the next time I make a draw prediction. I'm going to be using that. If Madrid loses Alonso out, can somebody please talk to me about why Alonso's job is up in the air? Can somebody please tell me why? I don't understand it.
I think it's because Celta Vigo beat him, and they haven't beaten him since like 1952.
So one result.
Well, it's not all of the one result. I think they've been playing poorly. He can't seem to figure out what the best starting 11 is. And from what I'm reading online, look, I don't claim to watch a lot of Real Madrid. I think they're not using Jude Bellingham correctly. That's what they're saying.
Okay.
So yeah, couldn't really be bothered. I think they've had their time in the front. So yeah.
So the La Liga results over the past couple of weeks. are Rayo Vallecano, drew with Real Madrid 0-0.
Okay.
Elche, Real Madrid, draw 2-2. Girona, Real Madrid, draw 1-1. And then Real Madrid won Athletic Bilbao 3-0. And then Celta Vigo beat them 2-0. So those aren't great results in La Liga, and that's why they're 4 points behind Barcelona in second. But everybody knows that Real Madrid fans are a different breed. So if you are drawing 4 games in the past month, then they're going to be calling for your head easily.
I mean, that's ridiculous, though. He's 4 points off the lead of the La Liga, and they want
But
to
he
call
could
for
have
the
been
lead.
first with a healthy lead as well.
Coulda,
So
woulda,
that's why.
shoulda, though. At the end of the day, how can imagine that in the Premier League? Like United would have sacked 60 more managers, Spurs would have sacked 60 more managers. I mean, Arsenal would have been on their 60th manager also. I mean, that's a ridiculous way to think about it.
That's why Real Madrid have the trophies that they do. And
No, they
other
have trophies
teams
that they do
you
because
mentioned,
they have random players that score goals at random times, and somehow they win stuff.
Yosulu.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it at Stoke,
What
but
a
he could do it
guy.
in the
What
Champions
a
League.
clutch
Man.
player.
Yo,
He's
the
decent. He's a
streets
decent player.
will always remember him.
Yeah.
Decent player. I want to, on that note, yeah, I'd asked an interesting or somebody asked an interesting question in the chat. Who's having a bit of a worse time of it at the moment, Liverpool or Madrid?
I think probably Liverpool.
I think
I'd
Liverpool.
say.
Okay.
Yeah, just because they won the league and this isn't
and this isn't even based on stats, because I think in terms of stats, Madrid is worse. But I think
just hates Liverpool, so you'll.
That's true. That is also true. But I actually hate Real Madrid worse, more than Liverpool. But I just think that everything that's happening around the club just makes the Liverpool situation a bit worse, in my opinion.
Ramesh is saying United. I'm assuming that is Ramesh, brother. Your team is doing well. Don't bring them down when they're doing well, brother.
We're not talking about United today, though, so let's not go into that.
He's doing your old reverse psychology trick there. Yes. He's trying to United, but actually they had
I'm glad
4-goal rout over the week.
As an old stick that I used to have. Thank you, I appreciate that. I don't do it anymore. It's good. Not convinced. I'm convinced. So that's all we need. In Amarum we trust. Anyways, my prediction for this game, we went a bit off topic there. Crystal Palace, Manchester City. I'm going to go with a 3-3 draw. I was going to go 2-2, but Sari beat me to it. So I'll go 3-3. I think it's going to be a banger. I think it's going to be a banger because City are finding a way, like Mr. B said in the chat, City are finding ways to kind of, score a lot of goals without Haaland, which is interesting. And it's a difference for them. Oh, gosh. I was going the whole episode without speaking about Spurs, and now we have a question about Spurs.
You'll never escape it.
I'll give you my opinions shortly. But, yeah, so I think it's going to be an interesting game. I think Mateta will score. I think the system is really the Crystal Palace system. They play really well. They play the same system or similar system like United, but they just look like they're 3 or 4 years down the line from where United are at, if that makes any sense. They're used to playing with the system, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think a 3-3 draw. I'm hoping for a Palace win, but don't let the Manchester City fans hear that. In fact, we'll be fine. There's not many of them out there. So. My honest opinion on Frank, just before we move on to the World Cup situation, the kind of World Cup chat that we have experienced through the past.
We have another game to preview.
We can preview that game if you want to. In the beginning,
it's in the description. Sadiq was here waiting for it.
No, he wasn't.
Sadiq's gone again. Sadiq doesn't want to talk about these blue bottles that you see on the beach.
Okay.
We can do a high-level preview for that one. Don't have to go fully in depth.
Okay, but quickly, just to answer, I'm going to be frank with it. Yes, thanks, Yad. Not Frank Sinatra either. But on a serious note, I am unconvinced about Thomas Frank. I Yeah, it's going to be short and sweet. I'm unconvinced. He needs to prove a lot to me. I don't like the way that we play. I hated what he said about last season and finishing 17th and all of that. What he's saying in the press um, is really annoying me. Like his comments in press conferences and things like that are really annoying me, and he's really lost me because of that. So if he can only get me back through results, and if he does, then good for him. But I'm on the decline. We don't play well, and he says the wrong thing. I don't understand why. But thanks, Mr. Beast, for voting confusion. I appreciate that. I'm gonna have to call him Mr. Beast now because I don't know why. Just that's the way it is. Blue Dwarf, thank you so much for changing your name. But yeah, so we'll see. The only way you'll get me to kind of flip on him is results. So if he gets good results, then I'll back him still. I don't have a choice at the moment, unfortunately. But yeah, I just don't like the way we play and the way he handles the media. But let's go on to the next game that we want to talk about is the Everton game, the Chelsea-Everton game at Stamford Bridge. That's on Saturday at 6 p.m. Chelsea coming off not such great form at the moment as opposed to Everton, who had a great result last week. Chelsea coming off a draw against Bournemouth, and Everton beating, who did they beat? Nottingham Forest 3-0. And it's going to be interesting. I chose this one specifically because I think that Chelsea have the kind of ability to flip-flop. Like they are good one week and they're shocking the next week. So I'm not sure where I'm at with them at the moment, I'll be so honest. They lost to Leeds the previous week. They lost to Atalanta last night 2-1 after being ahead 1-0. So it's very interesting to kind of gauge where they're at the moment. Well. Yeah, they drew with Bournemouth last week. And Everton are kind of on a bit of a banger at the moment, even though they're also kind of up and down sometimes. But Jason, where do you think if Chelsea show up on the day, do you think that they'll have enough to beat Everton?
Yeah, I think they probably do. I think Everton, to their credit, have done exceptionally well away from home. So there is that possibility that Everton could just come and sit and then catch them on the counter. I think it might be DI's last game before the AFCON, so they'd want to maximize that. But yeah, it's 7v5, which is crazy because if Everton win, they go above Chelsea. We were speaking earlier about how one result can possibly change everything, and that's literally all it is. I think if Everton don't fight amongst themselves on the field, they'll have a chance. But yeah, Chelsea should have enough.
Win.
Yeah,
that is true. That is true.
Yeah, so I'd say maybe if they are able to turn up, Chelsea should win. If they play the sort of form they've shown recently, I think Everton could have a field day with them.
Yeah,
I mean, field day is a bit harsh, but yeah.
I mean, the situation where if they win, they go above Chelsea is crazy to me. If have they been that good? Do they deserve to kind of be there in the conversation with fighting for fourth place?
They've been a bit on a bit of a roller coaster. I think that they played really well for like bits and pieces, and then that Barcelona game just basically sold all of their fans a complete lie, a complete dream.
Yeah.
And after that, they've just gone on this like downward spiral, and the fans are making excuses, and Mariska's making excuses. The players aren't like the entire like demeanor is like completely dropped, and I'm enjoying it. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice.
Seeing somebody like Garnacho coming out to do interviews saying that I will do better. I don't regret leaving Man United to go to Chelsea. So it's nice. It's nice to watch. I'm enjoying it.
And what about Everton? Is it a surprise that they also in that similar conversation?
I think with Everton, they like similar to how Nottingham Forest was last year, punching a bit above their weight. And I think that Everton might be the flavor of the season this season. David Moyes has been doing the right things, and now with Njai going to the AFCON, they have somebody like Tyler Dibling, who they bought in the off season to sort of slot in right there
Oh,
when he goes. So it was good, like sort of planning ahead, and yeah, I think that they'll be okay after Njai leaves for like a couple of weeks. They do have sufficient cover on both sides.
I mean,
I
it's
was
going to
just
be
thinking
interesting.
about that as well. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. Just I was thinking about how it's not sustainable, and the link to Knott's last season is actually perfect. It's a perfect analogy. They do well to a point, and also nobody's taking note of them. It's one of those where
Yeah,
um, Nuno was able to do what he needed to do because nobody was really looking at them. So yeah, 100% believe that they have something good, and it's not a coincidence. I think Jack Grealish has this thing about going to the smaller teams, or not smaller teams, but the teams that maybe aren't in the spotlight and doing extremely well and getting that sort of team to work and that team cohesion. I think we've seen it at Villa, we've seen it. I mean, it's only at Villa really, but yeah, he has this ability to pull everybody together, and it shows. I mean, yeah, everybody seems to be picking up form at the right time for them.
Yeah, and I mean the Dewsbury Hall as well, the Grealish, and they're all playing really well. Even I'm happy for Barry as well. Like they said in the chat, he scored, and I think he's really good. I like the way that he plays, and it's crazy
Yeah,
that this whole situation of fifth, what? Okay, let's make it fourth. The fourth to what? 13. Fourth to 13 is 6 points.
yeah.
That
yeah,
is crazy. That is ridiculous. I mean, Sunderland were now in the top four, and now all of a sudden they're ninth on the table, which is crazy after one like average result. So this stuff can just move up and down. I'm just going to give my prediction for this game off early, and I'm going to go 2-0 Everton at Stamford Bridge. I'm going to go for goals from Njai for a send off, and one from Grealish just because I love him. Jason, give me yours, please.
yeah. I mean, Sadiq and I went to high school, so I know how to end game. I'm gonna go Everton 2-1.
Okay, I like that. I like that. We've got 3-1 Chelsea from Ziyad and 3-1 Everton from Yasin. AFU.
I'm gonna go 2-0 Chelsea. I
Okay.
think that
Ooh.
they'll finally get their game again to get their fans happy
It will
and
be.
to
It's
get their
about time,
fans
though.
to get their fans thinking about winning the league again
Yeah,
until they flip the script again.
yeah, 100%. I think that's a fair point. Actually, it's been a while since they um, since they won something, so they need to kind of win just to reignite that kind of
Hope.
delusion. Yeah, the hope. Yeah.
I was going for the polite term.
Yeah.
But I like that. I like that a lot. Also, I was just looking at kind of Idris Gana Gay's situation, if he's going to AFCON or not, and it says that he's 36 years old. Did any of you guys know that? That's crazy. I just thought that's an interesting.
It actually sounds perfect because a 36-year-old picking a fight with one of his co-workers. It's unbrand dog. He
That's
just got
what
so
is
fed
that?
up.
But
And
I
he was like,
mean,
you know what, let's just fight. He probably had a monster before the game, and he's like, yeah, he
shame,
needs to
poor
beat
guy.
somebody.
Blue Dwarf in the chat says Everton 1, Chelsea no. I like that. That's basically a Moyes masterclass if I've ever seen one.
I want to know
On
if this was Blue Dwarf or is this his alternate personality, Mr. Beast. Let us know if he's fighting two predictions.
Um, finally, moving on to the last segment of the evening, we're just going to talk a little bit about the World Cup draw and just some groups that we think are interesting. Firstly, AF, you first. What kind of a draw was that? Firstly, please.
I did not watch it.
Me
I,
neither.
the
You
I
saved
saw all
yourself.
of these clips. I was following it on my feed. The
Yeah.
fact that it was 2 hours in and the draw still didn't happen was insane. It was basically just a Trump rally. That's what it was. It was Donald Trump just speaking to all of his followers, people applauding him getting
Which
an
is
award that is
Infantino as
completely
well.
made up and
What's going
that never
on there,
existed
guys?
before.
I mean, Jason.
Terrible.
So you saw it, Jason? Did you
No,
watch?
so I had seen the start of it. I then did have to go out, but it just felt extremely awkward. It felt very staged. I mean, as all of
Yeah.
these things are, right? But it felt exceptionally like forced. And yeah, I think definitely some of the celebs that they chose were definitely
Wayne
irrelevant. Like, I mean,
Gretzky. What is Wayne Gretzky doing at a FIFA
he's
World
only
Cup?
the greatest Canadian athlete of America's history. So yeah, but also I mean because it's a joint thing, you know, you are allowed. But I mean Heidi Klum, I thought it was like America's Got Talent. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I thought, wow, Teddy Cruz has gotten smaller, but it was actually just Kevin Hart. So yeah, it felt very awkward. And then that whole spiel, like you're saying about you know being a Donald Trump rally. That award is such a sham. Saying a peace prize, keeping politics out of football, and then you do something like that.
It's
It
shocking,
kind
man.
of sours the taste of everything. You know, people they think people are idiots, and yeah, I think it's already started, and it seems to be on track to be the worst World Cup.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
haven't been around for all of them, but I know that Uruguay in 1923 was better than this.
it's sad because but Canada and Mexico seem like actually like the world they could host World Cup like and would be cool. But I mean we've seen this now with the Club World Cup that just passed, and now with this nonsense that I think FIFA can be bought. They clearly can be bought, and it's just it's a pageantry now, which is ridiculous. They're
Yeah.
gonna have a halftime show in the final. They're gonna have 3 minutes of
Uh,
water breaks.
I
It's gonna be
I
just
think
Commercials, bro. It's all just like that. I think that's the whole reason why
TV
football didn't
time.
pick off. Yeah, it's just because they need to make money. Everything is about this money, and it's yeah. I'm upset because this is the one that South Africa qualify for, and we now have to
yeah.
win it in America. Especially after the G20 thing, you know. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to South Africa winning it, or at least going far. Maybe even knocking out USA. I'd love that.
Oh, now you're talking
Make it
some
happen.
stuff. Yeah.
Make
On
it
that
happen.
on that note, I mean, if there was ever a kind of doubt that it was staged, the first game is Mexico versus South Africa once again, and in the group also is Korea as well, and then the fourth is the winner between the playoff. It's Denmark, Macedonia, Czech Republic, and Ireland, I think it is.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting group. I feel like any of those four teams can go through. How does it work? Is it one that goes through? Or is it two that goes through? How does it work? Is it one or two? It's two, right? I'm hoping
I
so.
think it would be
Yeah.
two.
Look. Yeah. I think it's I actually don't know, to be honest. I think Ziad is probably the best guy to because he had done extensive. I'm not gonna say extensive. Maybe he's gonna say, oh, when did I do extensive research? But when we had previewed that World Cup 48 teams, I think he had a bit of a thing there. But I think it's one there, and then there's still a few other groups that only have three. So yeah,
Yeah.
maybe they win their games and then they get thrown into something like that. But
Okay.
No,
yeah,
so the teams that will have three in their group, they're still waiting for other teams to
yeah,
qualify.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like every group will have four teams, and then I think the
yeah,
top
no,
two
for sure.
goes through, and then they have
In
like
terms of that,
I think
do
there's
South
going to be
Africa?
more games every day.
Yeah. Yeah. But do South Africa have a chance to get out of the group? Are we hoping? Do we think that we have a chance?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Okay.
100%.
I think so.
With Hugo Boss in the front seat there, I think we should be good. I also do like the fact that we're getting another tournament together with the squad. I think we've watched a bit of them and they did well in the previous AFCON. I think they finished third, maybe. The fact that you have an AFCON leading up to the World Cup where the squad is sort of primed to do well. And I'm going to stop talking because I see we are over an hour. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think it's a very good squad he's picked. He's picked a lot of experience with some youth for this AFCON. So we'll see if they can maintain their form. I think we'll see a very similar squad being picked in the following year. I mean, in the following few months. But yeah, let's see how it goes.
But also, I think that like this, it's a moment in time where I don't think I've ever seen this many people behind Bafana Bafana.
That's true.
Like it's been actually like very refreshing to see so
Yeah.
many people backing our South African football team, just as much as they backing the other big sports as well. So like we know the Box have a huge following, the Proteas have a huge following, but Bafana always was like, oh, okay, they're gonna disappoint us again. But like now it just feels like okay, they're behind the team, and when the World Cup hits next year, I think that they like everybody's gonna be have their TVs tuned, and we're gonna be hoping and just cheering the boys on to do something great.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's as simple as just doing the things correct, right? Like selecting players that are in form, right? Winning games that you actually have to. Maybe taking qualify, and I say this with a pinch of salt because we also did almost not qualify for AFCON for fielding an ineligible player. But it's doing the easy stuff, doing it well, and then going away to Nigeria. I think that game in the AFCON leading up, that game in Nigeria where I think we drew or we won. That was like, I think that's really when people start to realize that this team is prepared to go the hard yards, go into a very tough condition and actually win. So yeah, it's almost like you do well and people will support you. So yeah, shout out Bafana because all the other national teams have stepped up.
Yeah,
it's so true. So true. And I mean, it's going to be exciting. Like you said, I'm just a bit sad that this is the one that we qualified for. Who is this? Maybe did you go to the Mubin Ahmed School of English? What is this
Has
going
to
on
be,
here?
bruh. I had to put that on because nobody's rushing this man too tight. Like there's no hard cap on him. Finish the sentence in 10 seconds. But yeah, Thailand came from the Stellenbosch youth setup. Played in the DDC team. Played under 20 World Cup. He was a finalist for like the under 20 Player of the Year. And yeah, he's currently playing for QPR in the reserve team. So yeah,
Lovely stuff. We'll have to see it.
good
It's
kid.
representing. Just before we end, I want to go into a couple of other groups that are interesting to me. Some groups of death, I guess. Group I is a group that I'm interested in. It's France,
100%.
Senegal, Norway, and either Bolivia, some other team, or Iraq. They must still qualify in that spot. But at the moment, it's France, Senegal, and Norway. That's going to be a crazy group. Do we have any inklings? Can Senegal make it through that group? AF, what is that?
now I was gonna give my group of death, and that's Group
okay.
L. So,
Okay,
but-
who's in that group?
Yeah.
Tell me.
sorry.
I'm gonna
Tell me
jump on
who's
that
in-
group I just because
Okay, yeah.
I think,
Jason, go.
just because I think Senegal have done really well in recent times. They've got a lot of good players that are playing in a lot of the good European top 5 leagues, and I'm not saying that you have to be good and play in the European leagues to be recognized. But also, I think a big thing about them is they have a strong core that has been playing together for a few tournaments now, which is very important. You have a team that is mixed and comprised very well. And yeah, France have been blowing hot and cold despite all the quality that they have. Interesting to see Norway also, their first World Cup since I think like 1998, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. Haaland banging form. You're hoping to have the two other important players in Martin Odegaard and Sander Berg. People don't rate him that highly, but he's probably
I
one
love
of the more
Sander Berg.
important players in that midfield.
Yeah.
And then throw a bit of South American flair, some South Asian flair in there with either like a Iran, I think you said, or like a Bolivia. That's
Bolivia.
Iran's qualified already.
Yeah, it's
So-
Iraq.
Iran's
I
qualified
think.
already, so Iraq, that looks like it could. That look like it could be exciting there, you know. But yeah,
Senegal
France
and
out.
Norway through, France out.
I agree. I
Yeah,
think that's what's gonna happen over there.
that's a bold take. I'd love to see it happen just
Me too.
because Yeah, I think France have fallen off with all the quality that they have. They can't figure it out. And if Didier Deschamps is still managing after this following World Cup, then I don't know. Then they're not serious.
I love
Yeah.
it. Shot for that, Jason. AF, just talk me through the group L, your chosen group of death quickly.
Yeah, so that's England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. So yeah, I think there's a lot of quality over there. There's a lot of quality within that Ghana team as well. Um, England's going to come with their usual motto, "It's coming home." But wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great if they don't make it out of that group? I don't think it's going to happen. I think that they definitely will make it out of the group. Mubin, if you're in the chat over there, you're probably going to hate everything that I'm saying because he's a huge England supporter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that like England will probably go through this in this group with Ghana. Yeah, I agree with you.
It's interesting,
England and
though.
Ghana goes through in this one, but I think it's going to be a tough group.
Yeah.
Out of all the groups that have been done, I think this one is the toughest, in my opinion.
Oh, the toughest is difficult. I think they all all three groups that we've spoken about. I think are all equally tough. I think the most tough, the toughest groups that there are in the whole tournament. To be honest with you, all three are difficult. It's difficult to see because I think that in Group L you can say maybe England are clear favorites, and then the second one is up for grabs. In Group I, it's like all three of them so far can all kind of be 1 and 2. And then even with Group A, with the South African group, you could say any of them can actually get there. So
Yeah.
these groups are so difficult.
I want to
That's why
also
Yeah,
just
just-
sorry to just break your word there. I want to highlight Group C. I've just looked at it now again.
yeah.
Brazil haven't been doing well. Scotland have Scott McTominay. That's all you need. And then Morocco being, I think, probably the most consistent African team and also did exceptionally well in the previous World Cup.
Yeah.
That could also be one that we should watch. Haiti, they could cause. I think any of these teams that are here have the ability to potentially cause an upset on their day. Now, if it's against Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, maybe. But also, Australia against USA, maybe Australia upsets the host. You have South Korea against Mexico. You have, I don't know who Son's going to play for there. I think they'd asked him when he joined Los Angeles that he must play for the Euro. So is he going to play for South Korea? Is he going to play for USA? So I think there's a lot of little things that could go wrong. So maybe in that front, 48 teams is nice because you also give chance to teams that would never ever sniff a World Cup.
Yeah, so Sadi says that Algeria is his African team to watch. They are in a group with Argentina, Austria, and Jordan. Also a decent group, actually. So
Yeah, fair play.
it's very interesting to see that. I'm actually hoping the African teams do really well. I'm really hoping the African teams do well. Morocco is in it. That Jason was just saying now. In Group C with Brazil, Haiti, and Scotland. I think. What were they saying? AF on Monday when Bellegarde went off. Is he Asian? Did they say that he was part of the Haiti
He is
team?
Asian. Yeah.
Yeah.
He is Asian.
Which is a problem for them, because he's actually quite a player.
Yeah, he's quite a player. Hopefully he's not injured for that
time.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's not injured for too long. But yeah, any last words on the World Cup draw or the World Cup that is coming up this year in Canada, Mexico, and the US of A? Any last thoughts? AF, I'll start with you.
I just hope that South Africa goes far. That's all.
Bafana. Woohoo, Bafana. Who said that?
What a great
Jason?
chant then. I think I'm just hoping to see fixtures and just hoping that it lines up favorably for South Africans to actually watch the boys and give that support,
The third game is 4 a.m. our time.
So
lovely stuff.
Those
Where we
that are
going?
working that night shift, I'm hoping that all the call center agencies have a big TV and there is at least the game happening. But yeah, I'm not gonna try and be too negative. Obviously, with everything that happened with the ceremony, it does kind of put a damper when you hear all these things that they're changing to a format that's been so successful over the years. It does kind of leave a bit of a sour taste, but let's hope that African teams can actually do well.
Yeah, 100%. And yes, Morocco is in the group C, I think it was, that we just spoke about.
Yeah.
And just I have a question. I know this is on a live, and it's an awkward maybe place to make this question, but are we going? What's happening? Are we doing live from the games? Like, what's happening here with the Sportycast team?
I don't think my pocket allows me to do that, but you guys can go ahead. I mean,
yeah, I don't think my safety concerns warrant me going to the US. I mean, I don't think it's safe in Mexico.
No, we don't go to US. We go to Canada. We go to the land where everybody's smiling. Or Mexico.
I found out there's 2 games in Mexico, so
yeah. Actually, that's what I was sad about.
Bochum turning up there with a bottle of Jose Cuervo and then just playing the game of his life.
But yeah, I'm hoping that all the best for all the Africans, but of course Bafana, hopefully they will make us better, of course. But thank you guys for joining me today. It's under our 15 minutes. Obviously, we know that I said an hour, so 15 minutes either way, we give leeway. So I did it. Woo! We made it work. But thank you guys once again, and thanks to everybody in the chat for joining us today, this evening, from wherever you are in the world. I know we ask this question or I ask you guys this every time, but follow AF on all platforms at AF Parker 642. He has a YouTube channel as well where he talks about all the comic book things, the movie things. So make sure it's called That's Geeky. Follow him on there. Jason is at Jason_Ronnie. He's on most of the social media channels, but you will only see him subtweeting. In fact, I've seen AF subtweeting as well recently. In fact, AF, I was supposed to speak to you about that. AF was subtweeting about people talking about Verts and how he hasn't been doing much. But Xavi Simons also. I think you retweeted something about Xavi Simons, and then he went on to score an assist and then score again. This is very interesting. But in any case, I follow Jason as well. He will not tweet as much, but he will tweet more than me, which is at Parker_Riaz.
There's always that. No matter how bad you think it is, you're always better than Riaz.
That's
can I just say something? Oh no, you can go ahead, Jason.
No, I think what I was going to say is what you were going to say. So
no, then you can do it. Then you can do it.
Okay. Look, we want you to follow us on all the social media channels, but if you feel like maybe we're not as accessible on that, Sunday morning we'll be on Sea Point Promenade. We're wanting to get a few hot takes as we head into Christmas time. It's a busy period for football. There's a lot that's happened I can't even recall how long it's been since we were last there. I know in the last interview, I asked a West Ham fan which European competition they were in, and they were in the Champions League. So
Villa.
Yeah, Villa. That's the one. You see, that's how long ago it was. I actually thought we've been there sooner. But Ramiz is going to bring the donuts on Sea Point Promenade. Probably be there around 10 a.m.
Ramiz finally on the channel.
Perhaps his hot takes are not safe for the comment section, but please know that if you wear a football jersey, we're going to ask you if you want to be interviewed. So just at least prep something. We can ask you about your team. We can ask you about what your hot take is. Even if you rehearse the answer and you have to read it off a page, we don't care. We just want some interaction. It's been hugely successful for us in the previous times. We've gotten to speak to, I think there's some Everton fans. We spoke to an Ipswich fan. So, if you support Wrexham, if you are Ryan Reynolds, then also
if you are Ryan Reynolds,
sponsor the channel. Also sponsor the channel. But we will see you on Sunday. AF.
Lovely stuff. AF, please.
Now you covered it all, man. You covered it all. I'm happy.
Thanks for telling me. I appreciate that. We could have
told you the last time, and
then you across the world.
Dubai.
No, what I mean is, we could have plugged this at the beginning of the episode as well, so that more people would have also known about it.
For the remainder of the week. We'll plug it for the
But
remainder of
well,
the
you
week.
know, but yeah, join our boys. I obviously won't be there. I'm out of town, unfortunately. But join our boys this Sunday. Is it Sunday? Sunday morning on Seapoint
Sunday
Promenade.
morning.
Come with your artists. Come with everything. Come with donuts. Obviously, Ramiz is going to come with donuts. So it's going to be awesome. Bring the vibe. I'm sure it will be amazing stuff. As the boys have said, follow us on all social media platforms at Sportycast. Give us a like, give us a subscribe if you wouldn't mind doing so. And follow us on Instagram, follow us on YouTube, follow us on, where else are we on? Twitter,
Facebook.
No, don't follow us on Facebook. Don't follow us on
Yes.
Facebook.
Follow us on
yes.
Facebook.
Follow us on Facebook. Please follow us on
Oh,
Facebook.
I thought you meant
Guys,
follow Jason.
Facebook's
At
making a
Jason Ronnie
comeback.
on Facebook. I didn't know.
Sportycast.
Facebook's making a comeback.
Yeah, follow
Don't add me
Sportycast
as
on
a
all
friend,
social media
just follow Sportycast. Yeah, cheers.
Please address it. I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yes, you're losing it now. You're losing it.
I'm gonna
Rein
get
it
in
back
trouble.
in. Rein it back in.
Sorry, I went off topic there for a second, but thanks everyone for joining us this evening. We'll be back next week with some more content for you guys. And yeah, thank you so much for being in the
Final
chat.
episode
Thank you,
of the year next week.
Final episode of the year next week, of course. Jason will be hosting that one. It's bound to be not raucous at all, pretty mild, as Jason usually hosts pretty mild episodes. I'm obviously being sarcastic, and it's going to be crazy. So be sure to tune in next week, Wednesday, 7 p.m. South African time. Thank you so much once again for joining us, and thanks you two for joining me as well this evening. We'll see you next week.